Welcome back, Shark Kings. It's that time of the month again. We're going to get some brand new games to PS Plus Extra. As of 4 minutes ago, something was announced. All right, looks like we got some good games this month. Here are the games for PlayStation Plus catalog for August. We have Mortal Kombat 1. Finally, I was waiting for this one. Marvel's Spider-Man is back. This one left a while ago when Spider-Man 2 got dropped. Sword of the Sea, Earth Defense Force 6, Unicorn Overlord, ATELIER RYZA 3, INDIKA, ooh, I was waiting for this one, Herald Halibut, and Coral Island. For PlayStation Premium, we have the original Resident Evil 2, as well as Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. That's it, only 2 games on Premium. But overall, not bad. I'm happy we're getting Spider-Man back, and I was waiting for Mortal Kombat 1. And personally, I was really excited and wanted to play this one, INDIKA. So those are the games for the month. If you enjoyed the quick version, just leave a like on your way out. For those sticking around, we're going to go through every game and look at its runtime and rating. Let's go. Mortal Kombat 1 came out in 2023. It is designed to appeal to both longtime fans of the series and newcomers. Its aim is to attract a wider, more casual audience than many other fighting games, thanks in part to its cinematic story mode and over-the-top violence. The story of Mortal Kombat 1 is a direct continuation of the events of Mortal Kombat 11's Aftermath expansion. At the end of that story, Liu Kang, having become a fire god and the Keeper of Time, used Kronika's hourglass to completely reboot the entire universe. So the game's story is set in this new reborn universe, which he has created with the intention of fostering peace and harmony. But despite Liu Kang's effort, evil finds a way to resurface. It reestablishes the series' lore while introducing new twists on familiar characters and setting the stage for future games. So if you haven't caught up with Mortal Kombat over the last, 5 or 7 reboots, this is a fresh restart to get old school fans back into the game. Mortal Kombat 1 got a generally favorable score of 83 from critics, but users gave it a 6.5. As far as the runtime goes, if you just want to see the story, it takes about 7 hours, but it is a fighting game, so this is going to take forever to get the platinum. We're looking at up to 71 hours. Just a really quick note before we get on to the next game, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach will be available as a game trial for PlayStation Plus Premium members, so you can enjoy up to 5 hours of that game with this limited time trial. And as always, if you do decide to purchase the game, your progress and trophies will carry over because the saved file is part of PS Plus. Spider-Man Remastered is the definitive version of the critically acclaimed 2018 game. I don't know what's more to say. It's a third-person open-world action-adventure game that puts you in the web-slinging boots of Peter Parker. Now, this game did leave, like I said, when Spider-Man 2 dropped from that PS Plus Extra catalog, but we got it back. But this one is the remastered version, not the original PS4 version. So the face looks a bit different, but there's been improved graphics, there's a performance mode, the DualSense features have been improved with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, making web-slinging and combat feel way more immersive. And thanks to the PS5's SSD, the loading times are significantly reduced. Play this one before you play Miles Morales. Spider-Man's Remastered, even though it came out 4 years later, it still held up that 87 rating. Let's see what the fans thought of it. So the original, the fans agreed with the critic at 87 and 8.7. And for the remastered, the critics gave it 87, but the users only gave it an 8.3. Maybe it was the new Peter Parker face. So, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered takes about 18 hours to beat the story, and for completionists, it will take 45 hours. From the studio behind critically acclaimed games like Abzu and The Pathless comes Sword of the Sea, an atmospheric adventure game. The title continues the studio's tradition of crafting visually stunning and emotionally resonant experience. It blends high-speed traversal with a meditative exploratory journey. Players take on the role of the Wraith, a being resurrected in desolate sand-swept world called the Necropolis. The core mission is to restore a lost ocean that lies dormant beneath a vast dunes. The central gameplay revolves around riding the Hover Sword, a unique vehicle that combines elements of a snowboard, skateboard, and hoverboard. This allows for fluid, momentum-based movement across the undulating landscapes. Players will carve through sand waves, grind on ancient ruins, and perform stylish tricks to build speed and navigate the environment. As you explore, you'll bring life back to the world, just like Abzu, transforming the barren desert into a vibrant seascaping teeming with magical marine life. It's similar to Journey, Abzu, and The Pathless if you've played these kind of games games before. If you like artistic and emotionally driven games, this is going to be up your alley. And it looks like it's coming out August 19th, so that means it's a day one drop. Let's go. Since Sword of the Sea is a day one title, there is no estimates on the time or the critic rating for now. Earth Defense Force 6 is a direct sequel to the fifth one, and it picks up 3 years after the events of that game. The gameplay stays true to the series' core gameplay loop, which is defined by its over-the-top arcade-style action. Players take on the role of a soldier and are sent to missions to defeat enormous swarms of giant insects, massive robots, and alien ships. The game boasts the largest number of missions and weapons in the series to date. It is designed for both single-player and co-op. The chaotic battles are enhanced by a destructible environment where buildings crumble and rubble flies, adding to the sense of realism. Critics gave it a Metascore of 73, and the users only thought it was worth a 5.8. These are not short games. It takes about 44 hours for the main story and up to 68 hours for the platinum. Unicorn Overlord is a tactical role-playing game that blends overworld exploration with an innovative real-time battle system. The gameplay is a multi-layered experience. We got the overworld exploration, where you guide his forces across a large, vibrant world map in real time. We got the squad-based tactics. The core of the strategy is how you build and deploy your army. You can recruit over 60 unique characters. And then we got the automated combat with deep strategy. This is when one of your squads engages an enemy. The combat plays out automatically based on preset conditions and tactics you assign to each character. It's similar to Final Fantasy XII's Gambit. Unicorn Overlord is highly recommended for fans of classical tactical RPGs, strategy enthusiasts, and people looking for a long, engrossing adventure. Unicorn Overlord got a great rating of 86 and a user score of 8.4. Like we said, it is a long game. The main story alone is going to take you almost 50 hours. And for completionists, we're looking at up to 76 hours. ATELIER RYZA 3 Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key is a Japanese role-playing game, JRPG. It is the final installment in a trilogy, combining a character-driven, coming-of-age story with a unique blend of gameplay mechanics. The game is primarily defined by 3 main pillars. Exploration. The game features large open zone maps that allow for seamless traversal and focus on discovery. And then you have the alchemy. This is the heart of the ATELIER series. You gather materials from the environment to synthesize new items, weapons, and armor using a deep puzzle-like crafting system. And then, of course, we've got the combat. The battle system is a hybrid of real-time action and turn-based strategy, where you manage resources to unleash a variety of skills and powerful attacks. This game's going to be great for players who enjoy crafting. The alchemy system is central to the gameplay loop, and players who love optimizing recipes, gathering materials, and creating powerful items will find immense satisfaction because the crafting is so deep. If you enjoy a chill environment, you're going to like this one, because unlike many high-stakes JRPGs, this series is known for its cozy slice-of-life feel. The focus is on friendships, discovery, and quiet moments of growth, making it a great choice for a relaxing adventure. As far as the rating goes, it got an 81 according to critics on Metascore, and users thought it was a 7.5. Now, it is an RPG, so the runtime's going to be a bit long, but not as long as usual RPGs. The main story is about 33.5 hours, and for completionists, you're going to take 81 hours. INDIKA is a third-person, story-driven adventure game that defies easy genre classifications. It's set in an alternative 19th century Russia, where it tells the story of a young nun named INDIKA who is struggling with her faith and sanity. The game's central premise is a journey of self-discovery, where she travels across a strange and often surreal world with an unusual companion, the devil himself, who is a voice in her head constantly taunting her and poking holes in her religious beliefs. The gameplay is a mix of a narrative adventure, which is told through a linear cinematic experience. You spend a lot of time walking and engaging in dialogue that explores complex themes of religion, sin, authority, and free will. And then we got the environmental puzzles and platforming, and then the metatextual elements. So the game breaks up the narrative with light puzzle solving and platforming sections, and these often take on surreal or distorted quality, reflecting INDIKA's inner turmoil. This game is also known for its unconventional design choices. It includes jarring shifts in tone, where a serious philosophical discussion can suddenly be interrupted by a retro-style minigame or an absurdist musical sequence. It also have a weird leveling system that awards points for religious or sinful action. But the game itself tells you these points are pointless, in a direct commentary on the nature of rewards in video games. INDIKA is definitely not a game for everyone. It is a niche art house style title that will appeal to a very specific audience. If you like thought-provoking stories, this one will be up your alley. If you appreciate appreciate a unique and experimental game, this game's strange blend of gameplay style, surreal imagery, and dark humor is a major part of its appeal. It definitely challenges the convention. If you liked What Remains of Edith Finch, where the gameplay is secondary to the narrative and the story is told through an unreliable perspective with a heavy focus on psychological and emotional themes, INDIKA is in a similar vein. It is a very short game and it is right up my alley for this channel. So if you enjoy these kind of games, definitely subscribe to this channel. It only takes about 3 to 4 hours. Let's go further into the runtime hours. So INDIKA will take 4 hours to beat the main game, and if you stick around and do everything you need to do for the platinum, it will only take you 5 hours. That is what I like to hear, and I love the style of this game. As far as the ratings, it got a critic score of 80 and a user score of 7.1. I'm really excited about this one. I literally saw it at the video store like a week ago. Up next, we have HALIBUT. What makes this game truly stand out is its unique and painstakingly art style. The entire game was created using real-life models and sets, which were physically built by hand from materials like clay, metal, and fabric. These sets and characters were then 3D scanned and brought to life in the game, giving it this stunning visual aesthetic that looks and feels like a stop-motion animation. It's because it pretty much is. The gameplay is focused on narrative and exploration rather than complex puzzles or combat. You spend your time talking to the ship's eccentric and diverse inhabitants, running errands and soaking in the detailed, handcrafted world. It is best described as a walking simulator or an interactive stop-motion film with a few simple minigames sprinkled in. If you appreciate unique and ambitious art direction and are captivated by games with distinct visual styles, the handmade tactical field of HALIBUT is going to be the main selling point for you. The game's strength also lies in its heartfelt story and its cast of quirky, well-developed characters. It's for those who value a strong narrative over challenging gameplay. And the pace is pretty relaxed and exploratory. If you enjoy leisurely walking through a world, interacting with its characters, and absorbing the atmosphere, you will likely enjoy this game. It's not for players looking for action, fast-paced combat, or complex puzzles. Like, this was literally made by hand. I think it's worth playing alone just for this fact alone. Like, look at these behind the scenes. It's insane. Let's go see what the critics thought of it. So unfortunately, critics didn't think HALIBUT was that great and only gave it a 69, and the users, 100 of them, gave it a 6.7. So maybe it's a fun game, but it seems like it overstays its welcome a little bit for just being a little story. Speaking of overstaying its welcome, let's see how long it is. All right, I honestly thought this was going to be a 2-3 hour game, so I'm kind of surprised that it's this long. HALIBUT is 10.5 hours long for just the main story and takes about 17 hours for the completionist run. Again, I thought this was going to be a 2 to 3 hour game. I'm kind of surprised it's that long, so maybe it does overstay its welcome. We won't know until you play it. And the last game on the list is Coral Island. This is a vibrant and modern farming simulator game, taking strong inspiration from games like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon. You play as a customizable character who, disillusioned with city life, moves to the struggling tropical community of Coral Island. The core gameplay loop involves farming, community building, exploration, and conservation. You're tasked with transforming an overgrown farm into a lush and productive homestead by planting and harvesting crops, nurturing animals, and upgrading your tools. The island is home to over 70 characters, many of whom are available for dating and marriage. You build relationships with them through conversations and giving gifts, which unlocks new storylines and benefits for your character. You gather resources, you forage in forests, and you also explore an underwater world. The major part of the game's story and mechanic is saving the island's coral reefs from an oil spill and pushing back against a large corporation, which seeks to exploit the island, obviously. This is done through diving to clean up the ocean floor and completing community projects to raise the town's rank. This is definitely designed for people who enjoy cozy games. The game's laid-back pace, beautiful tropical setting, and focus on daily chores and community makes it an ideal choice for a stress-free experience. If you like characters and story and farming simulation, then this will be right up your alley as well. Let's go see what people thought of it. So, although the critics gave it an 82, the users only gave it a 6.5. And as far as runtime goes, oh my god, it is a farming simulator after all. This will take 57 hours to beat just the main story. And if you want to go to the completionist run, we're looking at another 100 hours on top of that. Wow, that is a lot. And then the last two games were for premium, which were Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. The original versions, not the remake. But this is an extra channel, so we're not going to talk about the premium premium games. Anyways, that's it. That has been your monthly update. So these games will all be available on August 19th. And again, another reminder that you can play Death Stranding 2 on premium for only 5 hours. So which games are you excited about? Does Extra seem worth it now, or does it seem like a ripoff? You let me know. Thanks for getting your news from this small channel instead of the big ones. I really appreciate it that you spend time with me here. And until next time, be a friend, and I will see you again this weekend.